morning and welcome back to my kitchen, Cooking with Carol Diane this morning. What am I going to make today? Well, it's a little breakfast treat, actually. While I was recovering from two different surgeries, and I couldn't eat normal foods, like a lot of people when they have surgery. First, you start out on pretty much a liquid diet, broth, really. And then I advanced to what they called soft foods. Okay. From that, I went to soft foods with just a little bit more to it. You know, I'm advancing now to mashed potatoes and different things that I can eat. Well, one day when I actually had enough strength to go to the grocery store with my husband, which is always a riot, but we're in the grocery store, and it took every ounce of energy, folks, that I had just to wheel that basket, you know, push it down the aisles. And we had agreed that if I didn't have the strength to do it, he'd go get me halfway through the store. You know, he would go get me one of those motorized carts, and I'd finish the shopping that way. But we didn't have a lot to pick up. And I had fixed previously, before my surgeries, I had kind of lined out some foods for me, but I wasn't ready to eat them yet. I wasn't to that point yet, that stage of the game. So, husband's not a real good, you know, as far as go in the kitchen and put a whole meal together. No, but he'll throw anything in the microwave. He'll do that. And one of them was I picked up this off of the shelf in the frozen food section. And I said, hey, what about these? I think maybe I could handle these. What they are, they're Jimmy Dean frittatas. Right here. This is what they look like. This. That I was eating pretty much every morning. Now, in this little box, which I'll pause for 1 minute. Okay, had to pause to let the dogs outside. It's always something with them. So in the little box of these, you get six of these little muffins. Now, what is the difference between the frittatas and maybe like a quiche? A frittata is really an Italian little breakfast. A quiche is more English, and a quiche has a crust to it. So here they are right here in the little packages. And what I do is I take them out and I put these little guys in my freezer. And they just come like this. That you just open it up. Now here was my plate every morning, folks. Every morning this was my breakfast for quite a little while. That I would have mandarin oranges, whatever to drink, whether it was orange juice, grapefruit juice, whatever. And then I would take one of these little muffins along with 1,000 pills that I have in a little pill container here. I would zap them, or actually husband would, zap them in the microwave for 30 seconds, then wait just a few minutes in there, and then zap them again for 30 seconds, and they were just fine. They cut very nicely, and I could get this down, this breakfast down, because when you are recovering from surgery and you have to take so many medications, especially 2 different heavy antibiotics, pain pills, everything, your tummy, you know, isn't ready for a whole lot. It really isn't. And I was very much struggling by the second surgery of, I just wasn't eating. I'd get about 2 bites of something down, and that was it. In fact, my surgeon told me, if you don't start eating, Diane, putting on some calories, he said he was going to put a tube down my nose and into my stomach and force feed me. Did that shock me and wake me up to eat? No, not really. It was kind of, there's a saying, mind over matter. If you don't mind, it doesn't matter. And I was really to that point, but I did kind of heal myself. I really did force myself to eat and get the calories in me. I had to drink 2 milkshakes a day. But my breakfast in the morning was this. So what do these little things have in them? Well, it has bacon and spinach. It has mozzarella cheese and Parmesan cheese. Now, I'm going to make today I'm going to copycat and hopefully make the very same thing of what this is in this box. Why? Because this box is $8.99 at the grocery store. Yeah, for 6 of them. Crazy, isn't it? So I'm thinking, I can go home and make this and have several that I can do the same thing. I have a little food sealer and I can seal these and keep them in my freezer, whatever I want to do. So that's what we're going to make this morning. You and I in my kitchen are going to make this fun little breakfast that doesn't really look that hard to do. Set your oven for 375 degrees. Preheat it. That's what you'll need to do at the very beginning. It takes some eggs to make this. So it takes about 6 eggs. Now, if you were doubling this recipe, add whatever you want. But this particular recipe that I found to get as close as I could to the box recipe, minus that mozzarella and Parmesan cheese, although I do have a little bit of the mozzarella. Most of the recipes that I found called for cheddar cheese, and that's what I'm going to use today. Okay, so we need 6 eggs, and yep, let me grab something to put the shells in so they're not all over my counter. Oh, I'll just grab this little dish that I got the other day when I was out thrifting in my thrifts. I'll put that. Okay, so 6 eggs. I hope everyone is having a gorgeous day today, doing something fun. Yesterday, I started a little project. Wasn't hard, really, just time consuming. And what do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, lose count, and 6. And at the end of the video, I'll show you my little project that I did. And I'm kind of proud of myself. It was kind of just go out there and wing it and make something. And it brought me joy. It really did. Okay, so there are the eggs. All done. You're going to need to whisk up the eggs with a whisk. Get them good and whisk up. Pretty good right there. Now, this particular recipe, like I said, calls for a couple of things. One is the spinach, but my recipe called for cooked spinach. So I took out, and it calls for a ½ cup of spinach. So I took out a ½ cup of spinach, but now I am going to cut up. I've already cooked it. And now I'm going to just kind of cut up my spinach because I want little pieces. I don't want great big pieces in this. Now, this is where, yes, you can use whole and not cook it if you want to. You can use more than ½ cup if you want. But if you notice with the little quiche, or not the quiche, but the little frittatas, they don't, they're not just covered with spinach. It's just a little hint of it in there. Okay? That's what I'm going to do. So we're going to take the spinach now and put that into the bowl. Bowl over here. Put that bowl over here. Get all that in there. Every drop of it. If I can. If I can. Okay, now it does call for, stir that up a little bit. This one doesn't call for the green onions, but you know what? I think I'm going to go ahead and put them in here just for a little bit of flavor. And I don't really need a whole lot. I can either go with the ends or I can go, the green part or the white. Let's try just a little bit of both. Said I don't want very, very much. Just a little hint. And you want these tiny little pieces. This is going into a muffin pan because they're going to look like little muffins. So you don't want them really big at all. I'm going to cut that onion in half, actually. And just cut it little tiny. If you don't like onion in your breakfast at all, leave it out. These didn't have it in it. So this is kind of my little recipe of trying what I think on this, of what I might like. Now, this called for bacon. I have cooked my bacon. I cooked my bacon in the oven. And so I did that this morning while I was trying to prepare everything. And now I'm going to cut it really tiny. You can use bacon bits if you don't have, fresh bacon in your house. Go ahead and use bacon bits. Put them in. So out of 6 pieces of bacon, which I'm not going to use all of it. I'm really not. I did those really tiny to put in here. Just save that for maybe the second batch or whatever I want to do. Okay. Clean your workspace. Clean my workspace as you go. Okay. There's that much in it. Always add salt, pepper, generous amount of both. Really, it's got to taste good. Oh yeah, I like that. Now, again, because I didn't have, and most of the time I freeze my cheese, this mozzarella, which is already done for me, which is a good half a cup in here, but I'm not going to add all of it. I'm going to add probably a quarter of it in here, of that. And then I want to add some some cheddar cheese. And the cheddar cheese, always with cheese, you really should buy it like this, that it's in a block of cheese. Why? Because already shredded up cheese sometimes just doesn't cook the way you want it to when it's in a block. And I'm not going to use very much of this either. Just take off a little chunk of that. Let's use my little vintage grater here that I did use on my egg rolls, I believe it was. And now I'm going to use it on this. Look how fine that is. Yeah. I knew this little grater would come in handy. I just knew it would. For all kinds of different things. And because it has, let's see, 1, 2, 3, yeah, four different slicers on it. I think that's going to be really nice. I'm going to enjoy that. Okay, put all that in there. Into, here we go. Set this out of the way because I am finished with that. Clean up my workspace here. Now we've got it all in there. The cheeses, the egg, the spinach, and the bacon. And a little bit of onion. Just because. Put it in there just because. Now I'm going to take muffin pan. Now I don't know how much this particular recipe will make. Spray the muffin pan generously with cooking spray. You want these little guys to come out. You don't want them to stick. Nothing worse than having to dig out a muffin on a muffin pan. All right, I'm going to take a quarter cup, measure cup, to begin with. And we're going to fill, what's in here? We're going to fill these little muffins. And don't worry if you have to make a second batch or whatever, or double this one. Just double it. I'm being a little careful on this particular measurement of these because I don't know how many it's going to make. I don't think I'm going to get the whole muffin pan. And I don't really want it overflowing. I really don't. Now into these, oh, there's so many other things you can add. You can put the nice little cherry tomatoes in with it. You can put red dill, not dill, but red bell peppers in it. If you didn't have any, if you don't want the spinach, if you don't want the bacon, if you just kind of want one that's herbs, then do that of different ones of dill and parsley and basil and some thyme. And I think that's going to come out wonderful too. Okay, let's see if I can get. Yeah, see, it didn't quite make the full tray, and that's okay. All right. I'm good with whatever it makes. Really, I am. Clean up my mess that I made on the tray here and kind of wipe off that excess spray because it burns. It really does. All right, so I'm going to pop this in my oven now at 375 for a good 15, 16 minutes, and then I'll be back. Okay, muffins are out of the oven. Here they are. These cute little guys that I'm trying to copycat and see, will it come out looking like this? Pretty close, yes. Pretty close. So let me dig one out here with my fork. Just got them out. They're pretty warm. Very warm. Okay, is it the same size as the one in the store? Some of them are a little higher. Yeah, they are, because I added more of the egg mixture into it. But there they are, right there. So if I take that one away, and let's just try a sample to see. Because if they're very close, which they are in what I'm looking at, very close to the same thing of what when I break open that one. I'll be making more of these. I know I will, because husband will come home. Where's mine? Ooh, very hot. Oh. So close. So close. Okay, the only thing I can say is because of the preservatives and all the additives and stuff that they put in the box, the box of these, it's kind of a thicker consistency. I like mine. I like them both, but I like mine, of course, because it's homemade. You can really taste the fresh spinach. Oh, yeah. And while I was waiting, sorry, I know it's rude to talk while you eat. While I was waiting for these to cook and bake, I went ahead and made a second batch. So this made 10 with just the ingredients that I showed you, and that's great. So I am going to kind of double it now, and I'm going to make a second one. And I brought out my food saver. You've seen these little guys. This little guy. And I'm going to put them in the bags. So simple to do on these two. I'll just put them in here, seal it, take out all of the air from it, and have it the suction sealed, just like what the box was, really. And then I can have those in my freezer. If I didn't have the food saver, I'd just be putting them in a Ziploc bag, trying to get out as much air as I can, and stick those puppies in the freezer and have these. These would be great to take camping, which is right around the bend for me. Yeah, this came out really nice today. I hope you go and make this simple little breakfast treat, because like I said, when I was down and had to have these little guys with the mandarin oranges for my vitamin C, with all my dang pills that I had to take, and these say it's 260 calories, per serving, and I don't know if they mean 2 of them for the serving. They might, but I had to get the calories in me anyway. And this did it. This hit the spot of having these little guys. So put in whatever you want. Like I said, if you don't want the spinach, leave it out. If you don't want those onions, leave it out. If you only want a little herb one, then just put the herbs in there and have them. But this is quite a treat in the morning. Fast and easy. Make it ahead of time. Stick it in your freezer. Bring them out and do the very same thing of what I did with these. 30 seconds in a microwave. 30 seconds more. When they're frozen, that's when they're frozen, 30 seconds and 30 seconds more. If you leave them out in the refrigerator, like say if you, well, these homemade. I'm not promoting Jimmy Dean by any means, but they're not bad. They really aren't. But if you bring these out and put them in your refrigerator, then 30 seconds really is about all you need to heat them up, and they're fine. This is going to be a nice little treat for me, and I'm really glad that I decided to make them rather than spending $8.99 a box for 6 little muffins. I mean, really, folks. That's a bit much. And I kind of went, ooh, that's kind of expensive. And husband put it in the basket, and not 1, but 2, and then sometimes 3 that he'll put in because he doesn't want to go back to the store. And I needed them for my recovery period. So that was great. No long chit chat today, no thrifting little finds, although I have some, but not today. At the end of my video, I will show you, like I said, what I did outside that was a little project, and I'm kind of proud of it. So I'll be showing you that. And maybe you can make something for spring going into summer out in your yard too, that puts a smile on your face, brings joy into your morning. My flowers have lasted. I did add just a couple more of the purple here. I did do that. So that always, makes me feel good. So I hope you're having a grand morning. Go make yourself some of these frittatas, as they're called, which is similar to a quiche. It really is without the crust. It really is. And I'll get you next time. From my kitchen to yours, I'll get you next time on Cooking with Carol Diane. Have a grand day. Bye-bye. Okay, I'm outside to show you my little project of what I started yesterday. I said it wasn't real hard, just kind of time-consuming. So this is my little area in front, right by my front door, that I've really been working diligently on for actually the last couple of years. We took out the white iron little bench that husband thought he would break somehow. It was too little for him. And we found this little bench. And my rock water fountain, I just love, I really do. And my little bird bath here, which I do need to put some fresh water in. When the sun hits it, that thing squirts really high, and the birds just love it. I think today I'm going to take out this hollyhock. I'll just dig it up and replant it someplace else, because if I don't, it's just gonna really take over. And these are my nice little rose bushes right here. There's another one right there. I may take both of them out today. I don't know. Anyway, my little project was this little guy right here. See how cute he is? So the fountain part, the bottom part, I think I got free at a yard sale. I can't remember. It didn't have the top. And last year I put beautiful succulent plants in it, and it was gorgeous. It really was. This year I decided to make this thing a little water fountain. I already had the duck. I already had it. I'm gonna come over here and sit down on my little bench so I can explain what I did on this little fountain. That took me, I don't know, a good part of the afternoon yesterday. So I did go and buy a brand new little pump, no big deal, at Lowe's, 4 fountains. And I did buy a new hose because I never seem to have enough of those. And then I had the duck, but the duck was a riot because last year, I think it was last year, it might have been the year before, I don't know, but I think it was last year, that I bought the duck at Walmart. Well, they don't have them anymore. It was either you could buy a duck or a frog. And I'm not too much on frogs, so I did do the duck. And I thought, okay, it's got a hole that comes right straight up the middle on this little fountain. that used to be a fountain, a working fountain, but didn't have the top anymore. So I thought, well, I'll set the duck on that hole, and then I'll put my pump down in there. Well, the duck was full of concrete. They had, in the manufacturer, had filled that little base part of the duck. There was a plastic bag in it and all this concrete. And it did have a hole with kind of a little stopper in it. Okay, so I took the stopper out and I thought, I want to drill that hole bigger, so that it fits down. Well, I had to do more than that. I had to get a regular razor knife and I cut the plastic. It was hard plastic, but I just took my time at it, really slow and easy. And I cut a pretty good size hole. And then I went in my husband's toolbox and I found the heaviest screwdriver that I could and a hammer. And I just sat with that duck between my legs and holding it with my knees mostly. And I just started hammering at that concrete that was in there. And I broke it all up and got it out of there. And I thought, well, good. Now I can run my line in there. And then I drilled little holes, see? Little holes on its beak. I drilled the little holes for the water to come through. I filled it with water, and then I went and brought some of my nicer rocks that I have collected over the years, and I put that down. And really, folks, like I said, it didn't take that much. I think the pump was 20 bucks. And I have a brand new little cute, unusual, unique little fountain that gave me joy. Husband came home yesterday and I came out to the front yard and I said, because he was closing the front gate, and I said, did you notice my new little thing that I did? And he says, well, that is really cute. He says, I can't believe you did that. And I said, well, I can do a lot of things. When I put my mind to it, I can do a lot of things. So today what brought me joy is my little duck fountain. You go try something like this. You just never know what I'm going to come up with. Happy spring, everyone.